Gio, not sure if you're ready. But just your same question to you. What makes this unique from past space exploration?
You know, one of the things, Lindsay, is that actually flight termination system, and they were actually looking at issues with that a little earlier today. They also said that they resolved that. But when we're talking about the space shuttle that so many of us grew up watching, what was so unique about that is that you had this spacecraft that was attached to a rocket on the side. You'll notice right there, and you're looking at Artemis right there, you actually see the rocket with the capsule on top. That's really an old system, right? It's so safe and tried and true is that if there is an emergency, you can actually hit that abort button and you can the spacecraft from the rocket before that rocket explodes and get everyone safely away from it. So that's really, really critical to have because the space shuttle that kind of option. It was attached to the rocket. It made something like that very, very difficult. This is a much safer system. Flight termination system, because also what's important here is that they need to make sure that the rocket goes where it's intended to go, because if it starts going they need to be able to self-destruct it safely. Lindsay?
All right, Gio, thanks so much. And it does sound like they are going to go. We do want to listen in. The flight director is pulling all the people in launch control to see if it is, in fact, all systems go. Let's listen.
Safety consoles go.
LPs go. RTD. RTDs go. Houston flight. Houston flight is go. Rock. Rockets go. And CDR. Crews go. Copy that. Thank you, Reed. And launch director. Our launch team is ready to proceed at this time.
All right, NPD, I copy all. At this time, I'll perform my poll. Attention on the net. This is the launch director performing the final poll for launch. Verify no constraints and go for launch. EGS, Program Chief Engineer.
Artemis Chief Engineers are go.
Copy, thank you. EGS, Chief Safety Officer.
Artemis TS.
Copy, thank you. Range weather.
Launch weather is go.
Thank you, LWO. And Artemis, MMT Chair.
MMT.
John. Liberty, Launch Director.
Good air voice, Charlie. This is Victor.
We are going for our teammates.
Sound like we just heard the pilot Victor Glover's voice there, Susan. The astronauts. This is what the astronauts are doing in the final moments before launch.
I copy that.
So they just hearing those magical words. Everybody's reporting their will actually once they start that clock back up.
You are the youngest person, one of only 3 women to pilot the space shuttle. What's your reaction to seeing women operate this mission?
You know, it's great to see, one is Charlie Blackwell Thompson being a launch control director. It's great to see Christina Cook being on the mission and being the first woman to go. Really, I think that the crew said it best, that we're looking forward to we're all just astronauts. We're not black astronauts, astronauts, women or men. We're just astronauts.
Fair enough, Susan. We want to listen in one more time.
Start and verify recordings of our Orion cameras. Copy.
Okay. Well, there you heard it. They're getting ready to start terminal count.
Stay on location. Enable at this time, please.
It's currently at T-minus 10 minutes. This last bit of work.
Stay arm rotation. Enable complete.
We're going to start that clock.
Yeah, thank you.
Gio, give us a sense as we await the clock to
You heard
start
an
the
issue?
count. God, Dad, stop.
My name is Juan Pablo Escobar. I am the son of Pablo Escobar Gaviria.
Tell me why I shouldn't kill you right now.
Few men have been as spoken or written about as my father was, and yet nobody ever seems to discuss what happened between the families. I grew up knowing I was the owner of a magical world. There was one detail: the people who look after me.
Now on, you're in charge of looking after your family. Can't trust you with that, my son.
The little child in the hands of criminals was a bad
Treat him like he's a grown man.
My father, I loved him, and I wanted to protect him. At the same time, I feared him. I inherited his war.
This is war. War is war. When he has to die, won't die.
It's a harbour beach, and I think that is one of the beautiful things about living in Sydney. Is the insane amount of harbour beaches right on your doorstep. I want to throw a beach party for my girlfriends here at this gorgeous little beach. There's something really nostalgic about this little beach. It's not pretty. It's not much. It's just simple boards. And it's going to be perfect for catching up with my girlfriends and settling in for a lazy afternoon of sun as the good times roll into the sunset.
Is this yours?
Yes.
Seems they did.
First people to see the far side of the moon in more than 50 years. NASA expects a communications blackout during this period. Earth's gravity then pulls Orion back during its 4-day trip home. Orion is equipped with a heat shield that keeps the crew safe from re-entry temperatures that could reach 5,000 degrees Fahrenheit. The Orion enters Earth's atmosphere at 25,000 miles per hour, using parachutes and the drag of the atmosphere to slow its descent to less than 20 miles per hour. The 10-day mission ends with Orion and crew splashing down in the Pacific Ocean off the coast of California. And the crew access arm has been retracted. That's what we saw just a few moments ago. That's the way that the astronauts come and go from the space. As I mentioned, 4 astronauts on board.
Howard, I want you to organize the salvage operation.
Be quiet.
Amen.
Does that sound good to you?
Into orbit. Give us a little preview of what we're about to see here.
Okay, you're going to see the infant flight, and for those down at the Kennedy Space Center, they're going to feel it. 6 seconds later, those rockets are going to fire once the computer has determined that the engines are working well. And then off they go. And it's almost like it levitates off the pad. It's not like it zooms off the pad. It basically levitates off the pad. And then it quickly gets up within a minute, supersonic speeds. And in 2 minutes, the rocket will come off. And it goes up to, I think, 4 Gs to get to 17,500 miles an hour.
Almost approaching the 2-minute mark. Just want to listen in for a moment.
The rocket to internal, taking ground power away and now going to battery power. Our power is removed from the rocket's upper stage. The ICPS, and it's been switched to battery. Same as for the lower at T-minus 1 minute and 30 seconds. Right now, the 4-person Artemis 2 is 240,000 miles away from the moon. And if all goes well, we'll fly by it in 6 days.
Internal power.
All right, there's the rocket's core stage, which houses 3 flight computers, is now on its There's no more hold time because there's no more margin on these batteries. Go back to T-minus 10 to recharge if we have it.
Come on. 1 minute.
Right now, the rocket does not know what the T0 is, but coming up at T-minus 33 seconds, control shifts from the ground launch sequencer to the rocket's onboard autonomous launch sequencer, or ALS. The rocket will count itself down, eliminating any holds that could come from ground. Now, shortly after liftoff, Houston will take control of the rocket, and my colleague Gary Jordan will take over commentary.
Feel like go for your left.
Great call out. The rocket is on its own. 4 brave explorers ready to ride the most powerful rocket NASA has ever launched. Sound suppression water is flowing. And here we go. 9.